Right. I mean, just to take one step back, sure. I mean, countries around the world all have legitimate interests in maintaining certain industries for certain purposes. Korea has an industrial policy for that purpose. Japan has had an industrial policy. Some countries subsidize these industries. And all of these are running on the edge of the trade rules as to whether they're okay or not, basically. And so the use of Section 232 for products like steel, aluminum, titanium, that would not be my choice to do that. But there is, just if you take the emotion out of it, there is a legitimate question and concern and interest about that each country has to answer for itself, basically. So I don't want to say that none of that is legitimate, but the reality is that almost all of it now is not legitimate. Meaning, when you begin to apply that logic to cars, when you begin to apply that logic to furniture tariffs, when you apply that logic to tariffs on, consumer goods and the rest, obviously it just becomes a legal loophole, right? It's a legal loophole, and they just call it a national emergency in order to use that loophole, because in the United States, the Congress has control over tariffs. But over the last 100 years, the Congress has given the president certain authority to do certain things, to run a more rational tariff policy, or more rational trade policy. So that is being abused now, right? And everyone understands it's being abused. And so, the real question is it's really a matter of whether these loopholes that have given the president these authorities can be closed or not. And that comes down to Congress to close those loopholes. Some could be decided by the courts as illegal and not as consistent with the law. I'm not confident that will happen. It may happen at lower courts, but by the time it gets to the U.S. Supreme Court, I think they will generally defer to the president's declaration of emergency or security to do these things. So to me, the real answer is a political answer, and it has to begin in the U.S. Congress.